ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। सर्वशस्त्राब्धिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फल सर्वसिद्ध्यान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्प्रद सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वान्त उदित आदित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तिता। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. We will be studying from Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, Canto 10, Chapter 87, Text 36. The prayers of the personified Vedas. Sata idam utthitam saditi chenannutarkahatam भ्याभीचरति क्वच क्वच मृषा न तथो भयायुः। भ्यावहृतये विकल्प इशितोऽन्ध परम्पराया भ्रमयति भारतीत उर्वृत्तिभिरुक् जरान। सत इदमुत्थितं सदिति चनन्नुतर्कहतं व्याभिचरति क्वच क्वच मृषा न तथो भययुः। व्यावृतये विकल्प इशितोऽन्ध परम्परया भ्रमयति भारतीत उर्वृत्तिभिरुक्थजरान्। सत इदमुत्थितं सदिति चेनन्नुतर्कहतम् व्याभिचरति क्वच क्वच मृषा न तथो भययुः। व्यावृतये विकल्प इशितोऽन्ध परम्परया भ्रमयति भारतीत उर्वृत्तिभिरुक्थजरान्। सता इदमुत्थितं सदिति चेनन्नुतर्कहतम् चनन्नुतर्कहतम्। व्याभिचरति क्वच क्वच मृषा न ततो भयोयु व्यावरितये विकल्पइषितोऽन्ध परम्परया भ्रमयति भारती त उरुवृत्तिभिरुक्त जरा तोइति दुःखितं सदिति चेनन्नुतर्कहतम् व्याभिचरति क्वच क्वच मृषा न ततो भययु व्यवहृतये विकल्परिषितोऽन्ध परम्परया भ्रमयति भारती तौरु वृत्तिभिरु. Synonyms, word meanings. Satah, from that which is permanent. Idam, this universe. Utthitam, arisen. Sat, permanent. Iti, thus. Chet, if someone proposes. Nanu, certainly. Tarka, by logical contradiction. Hatam, refuted. Vyabhicharati, it is inconsistent. Kvacha, in some cases. Kvacha, in other cases. Mrisha, illusion. No, not. Tatha, so. Ubhaya, of both. The real and illusion. Yuk, the conjunction. Vyavahritaye, for the sake of ordinary affairs. Vikalpaha, an imaginary solution. Ishitaha, desired. Andha, of blind men. Paramparaya, by a succession. Brahmayati, bewilder. Bharati, the words of wisdom. Te, your. Uru, numerous. Vrittibhihi, with their semantic functions. Uktaha, by ritual utterances. Jadan, dulled. Translation. It may be proposed that this world is permanently real because it is generated from the permanent reality. But such an argument is subject to logical refutation. Sometimes, indeed, the apparent non-difference of a cause and its effect fails to prove true. And at other times, the product of something real is illusory. Furthermore, this world cannot be permanently real, for it partakes of the natures of not only the absolute reality, but also the illusion disguising that reality. Actually, the visible forms of this world are just an imaginary arrangement resorted to by a succession of ignorant persons in order to facilitate their material affairs. With their various meanings and implications, the learned words of your Vedas bewilder all persons whose minds have been dulled by hearing the incarnations of sacrificial rituals. Purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace Srila Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this purport is quite long. We'll read some portion. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the Upanishads teach that this created world is real but temporary. This is the understanding that devotees of the Lord Vishnu adhere to. But there are also materialistic philosophers, like the proponents of Jaimini Rishi's Karma Mimamsa, who claim that this world is the only reality and exists eternally. For Jaimini, the cycle of karmic action and reaction is perpetual, with no possibility of liberation into a different transcendental realm. This viewpoint, however, is shown to be fallacious by a careful examination of the Upanishadic mantras, which contain many descriptions of a higher spiritual existence. For example, Sad eva samudheyam agra asid ekam evad vitiyam. My dear boy, the absolute truth alone existed prior to this creation, one without a second. This is from Chandogya Upanishad 6:1. Also, Vijnana Manandam Brahma, the supreme reality is divine knowledge and bliss. This is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 3:9-34. In this prayer of the personified Vedas, the materialist's argument is summed up in the words Sata idam uttitam sat. The visible world is permanently real because it is generated from the permanent reality. In general, the argument goes that which is produced from a certain thing is composed of that thing. For example, earrings and other ornaments made from gold share gold substance. Thus, the Mimamsa logicians conclude, since the world, as we know, it is a manifestation of an eternal reality, it is also eternal real. But the Sanskrit ablative expression, sataha, from the eternal reality, implies a definitive separation of cause and effect. Therefore, what is created from Sat, the permanent reality, must be significantly different from it. In other words, temporary. In this way, the argument of the materialists is flawed because it proves just the opposite of what it is intended to prove. Tarka hatam. Namely, that the world as we know it is all that exists, that is eternal, and that there is no separate transcendental reality. So the purport goes on. I'll summarize the purport in a few points. So before that, I beg the blessings of all the assembled devotees here, so that I can do the service of repeating the teachings of Bhagavatam in the parampara of Srila Prabhupada and his followers. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Valapiya Danugraha Tarinnana Matagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. So, this is a very good, beautiful shloka we are seeing. 10th canto, 87th chapter. The prayers of the personified Vedas, text 36. So, here we can see the main theme of this verse is the materialists, the Mimamsakas, those who are followers of Jaimini Rishi. They say that this world is eternal because it comes from eternal. They say that the effect is same as the cause. The Bhagavatam says, no, the world is real but temporary. Only the Lord and His abode are eternal. Vedyam vastava matra vastu shivadam tapatraya nunmulanam. Only Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal. The Lord and His devotees and His dham, these are eternal. The essence of this verse is that don't confuse the temporary with the eternal. So, in this purport, various things are described. Basically, most of the purport is taken from the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur directly, where he says that the cause is not always equal to the effect. Like, for example, father produces a son. The son is different. Son is different. Similarly, another analogy is the hammer breaks the pot. For different effect. So sometimes effect is illusion. Another analogy, rope, which looks like a snake. Middle of the night, someone is walking and suddenly something touches him. He holds his and he's scared. Snake, snake, snake. But it's not a snake. It's just a rope. Now, how come he thought it to be a snake? Why didn't he think this to be an elephant? Because snake looks like an elephant. It feels like elephant, like rope-like. So, rope is real, not the snake here. So, he had experience of snake earlier. So, now he just got illusioned and thought that to be a snake. So, Prabhupada's disciple like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he pointed this point that Andha Parampara, blind tradition, philosophers pass on the wrong idea. Karma rituals are eternal. But Vedas say karma phala is temporary, only bhakti is eternal. And we got quotation from Chandogya Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad and all. Another example analogy is given of counterfeit coins or fake coins. The fake coins might look like as the original coin, but you can't go and buy foodstuffs with this. So what are the practical applications from this purport that we can take away? That various things are described here. So in modern life, people choose money, careers, rituals, health, and etc., thinking they will last forever. But everything is temporary. Cars, flats, everything. So as they describe in this purport, disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So devotees know that the world is temporary classroom. Goal is eternal degree. Pure devotion to Krishna. So the success or the purpose of the classroom is not to continue in the class. This school is so good. I like this school, I like the teacher, I like the classroom. So let me continue to be in this class for years after years after years. I don't pass out. This is not the purpose. The purpose is that, okay, you pass out from it, graduate from it, go to the next class, you take the lesson. So goal is eternal degree, which is pure devotion. So the main key lesson we can take away from this entire purport is that use the temporary for the service of the eternal. Use things, so that is yukta vairagya. Yukta vairagya muchyate. Use everything in the service of the Lord. Like that, various points are described in this. Each and every points are very important, significant. So basic point we can see is that the personified Vedas are praying to the Lord. So the personified Vedas, they are persons. In spiritual world, everything is like, everything has personality. Nothing is impersonal. So, and basic point is that all the Vedavadis or the followers of Vedas and Upanishads, they might argue, they might put logics and counter logics and this and that, various things. But ultimately, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing that as Nimai Pandit in Navadip Dham in his childhood pastimes as a scholar. SriSriRadhaRasbihari ki jai, Gaur Nitai Bhagavan ki, Ram Lakshman Sita, Hanuman ji ki jai. So, Mahaprabhu, what he would do? Hoy noy noy hoy. Chaitanya Bhagavad says, hoy noy noy hoy. What is real, he would prove that to be false. And what is false, he would prove that to be real. And then he would again counteract his own argument. And again he would re-establish the previous argument that he refuted. That's how Mahaprabhu would do as a logician, as a philosopher, as a scholar. Vidya lila. So, tarko pratishta shrutayo bhivinna nasa vrishir yassamatam na bhinnam. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajana yena gatasya pantha. So just by mere tarka or logical arguments, we cannot reach the absolute truth. Naporo kutorko gorte omedho korkosh aborte jate porile hoy sarbonash. Chaitanya Charitamrita Kaviraj Goswami is saying that Naporo kutorko gorte, don't fall in the pit of kutarka. which is amedhya. It's like drainage. In common language, the gutter. Don't fall in that. Naporo kutorko gorte amedhya karko shavorte. If you fall in it, jate porile hoy sharbona. You are doomed. So, how to accept that? Transcendental reality, one requires strong faith in acharyas. Acharyara mot jei shei mot shar, taro agya longhi chole shei to ashar. Whatever is the conclusion by the acharya, just accept that. If you don't accept that, if you think of something else, then that becomes asar or useless. So, we are grateful to His Divine Grace Srila Abhayacharana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for giving us all the conclusions of this Vedic literature so easily, so clearly and easily. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami describes various things. So, there was mention of one devotee, Gunaraj Khan or Maladhar Vasu. He compiled a book on Krishna Lila called Sri Krishna Vijay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified that book. That Maladhar Vasu, he compiled that book Sri Krishna Vijay, the 10th canto, Krishna's pastimes in Bengali poetry. So Mahaprabhu said that this is such, like he described in such easy language that even the layman, even small child and the women can understand. That way it's described. That even small child and a woman can understand, lady can understand that Krishna's pastime, such easy language. Of course, for us now, that Bengali is also a bit difficult, ancient Bengali, but that time Mahaprabhu was glorifying that. That's such an easy language that anyone can understand. So same thing we can say about Srila Prabhupada, that how he explained his teachings. Anyone, even a small kid, can understand. Shri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Valapiyad Anugraha Tarennana Matagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. The ocean of Siddhanta, philosophy, truths. Even a small child can cross over that by the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees. Kohibar kotha nohe, kohile keho na bujhoye, oiche chitro chaitanyero rango. সেই সে বুঝিতে পারে চৈতন্যেরও কৃপা যারে হয় তার দাসানুদাস সঙ্গ। সেই সে বুঝিতে পারে চৈতন্যেরও কৃপা যারে হয় যার দাসানুদাস সঙ্গ। That only way to understand the truth of transcendental reality is if we can get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. Only devotees can make us understand this transcendental reality. Otherwise, there are people who are like they're scholars, they are philosophers, but they are totally bewildered. We know the story of Srila Prabhupada, that there were some scholars came and met to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada asked them, who is God? Then they were speculating, who is God? In this Shastra says that, this Upanishad says that. Then there was one small kid, small boy, he was playing around. Prabhupada called him, Gopal, come here. Do you want laddus? He said, yes, Prabhupada. So tell me, who is God? Krishna is God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Prabhupada said, in our movement, even a small kid also knows who is God. So actually we don't understand what we have received from Srila Prabhupada. We don't realize the blessings that we could achieve or we could receive. We can't say we could achieve. We didn't achieve it, we just received it from Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, if Srila Prabhupada would not be there, what would happen? That how would we understand this? Such easy way Srila Prabhupada explained. Even his way of explanation also. Even a layman can understand. Like Kirita, Kundalam, different ways Bhagavatam describes the Lord. So what Prabhupada said? Kirita. What did Srila Prabhupada translated Kirita? Helmet. Anyone can helmet. Such a way of explaining brilliantly. So if we could get it from Srila Prabhupada so easily through his books, just to understand, open it up read it and understand it. Otherwise, to come to this conclusion, what Srila Prabhupada gave us, to come to that, it would take life after life after life, and that also, it's not possible. The Panditas, the scholars, they will die with their philosophy. That would be the Indian culture, traditional culture. The two scholars would come and debate. Idea is that if I defeat you, then you become my disciple, or you commit suicide. Or if you defeat me, if I get defeated, that I will surrender to you, I will be your disciple, or I will commit suicide. And they would do that. Either they would surrender or they would commit suicide. That they would do. The scholars, they were so much attached to their opinion, their philosophical understanding. And that's why, even if like we have devotee community and devotees, like even if a devotee might be a bit weak in his sadhana or in other aspects, of course, if he is in devotee association, in proper guidance, then he can overcome that. He can be again strong in Krishna consciousness, even if he commits some errors here, even if he has some sensual fall down, through devotee association, again he can come up. But if someone has philosophical fall down, if someone subscribes to some deviant philosophies, then gone forever. It's not possible to bring him back in this lifetime. Like 5 minus 2 is how much? 3. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Now if I say 5 minus 2 is equal to 4, wrong answer. 5 minus 2 is equal to 11, wrong answer. 5 minus 2 is equal to 100, wrong answer. So 5 minus 2 is equal to 3 is right answer. So there can be one right answer, one correct answer, and unlimited wrong answers. So absolute truth, transcendental reality is there, taught by our Acharya. A slight deviation from here and there. Okay, 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. What if I say 2.5? It's wrong. Just like 2.5, Prabhuji, it's not much big deal. It's wrong. So even if we slightly deviate here and there, it's wrong. So Acharya Ramat, whatever Srila Prabhupada said, we just have to accept that as it is. Unfortunately, some people have that understanding. They think that, oh, Srila Prabhupada was a Bengali gentleman, old man, good person. He taught us various things. So they divide Prabhupada's teachings into two ways. One is philosophical teachings, and the other is social teachings. Like Prabhupada taught us with the philosophy, Brahma Paramatma Bhagavan, Sambandha Vidhe Prayojan, Jiveda Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. These are okay, these are fine, these are correct, accept it as it is. But Prabhupada had some social teachings. Like Prabhupada taught us about the society, about the duty of women, Sri Dharma. Prabhupada taught us about like divorce. He talked about various things about in the society, men, women, and various other things, aspects. Culture, dress code, and various things, etiquette. So these are Prabhupada's social teachings. He was a Bengali gentleman. He came from Bengal, from that century, earlier century. So he just imposed on us whatever his culture was, whatever his society etiquette was. So it's not necessary that he is always correct in social teachings. And we don't require to follow him all the time as it is the social teachings. So that is the idea of some people in the movement, in the society. We have seen that. They might not say directly, they indirectly try to prove that. So Prabhupada said about that also. What is that? Ardha kukkuti nyay, half hen logic. The kukkuti, the hen, it gives eggs from its backside. So what the farmer did, cut the egg, behead it, keep the back portion, and throw away the front portion. So ardha kukkuti nyay, half hen logic. No, you can't do that. If we accept Prabhupada, accept him fully. His social teachings, spiritual teachings, everything. You can't say, oh, social teachings are not always correct, spiritual teachings are correct. No, accept Prabhupada, everything, whatever he said. So that is one thing. Sometimes like when we have classes, even devotees like Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav classes we have, with devotees, initiated devotees, second initiated devotees. And if you speak something from Prabhupada's books, sometimes you see that it's difficult for even initiated, second initiated devotees who have spent many, many years in this movement to accept that fact, what Prabhupada said is fully correct. They will think, they will put their own understanding, own ideologies. But Prabhuji, practicality is different. Practically it's like that or like this. Okay, at least you accept first of all what Prabhupada said is correct. And then you can say, oh, Prabhuji, Prabhupada said it's correct, but I am unable to follow that right now. Even that is also fine. Honesty, transparency. I can't follow this right now. But what Prabhupada says is correct. Even to bring that to that level also is difficult. Once I was discussing with one devotee, second initiate devotee, of course he was close to me. Something we brought from Prabhupada said like this. He said, no, but this, 1 hour we were discussing something this. He was saying, no, but what? He was trying to bring different arguments. I said, first of all, you just accept what Prabhupada said, this statement is correct. And then you say that, okay, but I can't understand this now. Like Prabhupada said once, okay, the mango tree is there, and on the eastern part of the mango tree, if you get mangoes on the eastern side of the eastern branch of the tree, so that mango is more sweeter, because when the sun rises in the east, early morning, the first sun rays they come and touch this mango. So this mango is more sweet. So Prabhupada said that in one of the morning where Prabhupada was discussing that. So if you said that to devotees, Prabhupada said like that, oh, okay, acha. Yeah, Prabhupada said many things. But if you said, oh, the scientists, they have done a research over 10,000 mango trees, and they have made a conclusion, then the eastern part of the eastern side, like the mango that comes on the eastern branch of the tree, that is sweeter. And such science journal has published it. Wow, great. Then everybody will be amazed. Yes, wonderful. But the same thing if the Prabhupada said it, okay, Shastra said it, okay. So, like Brahmanas, 9 qualities of Brahmanas, one of the things is astikyam. So what is astikyam? Full faith in Shastra and full faith in Acharyas. So, and that's not easy. Full faith, complete faith. Of course, it should not be Andha Parampara, what we are saying in this purport, but it should be, Prabhupada said, we can ask question, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we ask a question, is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really the Supreme Personality of Godhead? That is one question. Another question is, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is he Supreme Personality of Godhead? That's other question. So the second question, how is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I accept him as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but how is he? Okay, a devotee can ask like that, how is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Show me from Shastra. Fine. But is he really Supreme Personality of Godhead? That means what? Yes or no? So devotees don't ask like, is it really true? No. It's true, it's correct, but how is it true? So we are seeing here the prayers by the personified Vedas. The Vedas are praying to the Supreme Lord directly. So it's difficult to understand the Vedas. So Srila Prabhupada gave us his books. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that the Vedas and the Upanishads, they are like kindergarten education, Shishu Vidya. Like when a small kid is taught, what do we teach him? A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you teach him alphabet. Kindergarten, play school. Then when he graduates to higher classes, he learns more things. So, similarly in transcendental education, transcendental school, we can say that the first education is kindergarten education. The Upanishads, the Vedas. Om Parabrahmane Namaha, Parabrahma. So that's why you can see the Vedas and the Upanishads. It's Parakshavada, indirect way of explaining the Supreme Lord. The Lord likes it. In order to accommodate, in order to attract all kind of spiritual transcendentalists, devotees, Mayavadis, Karmi, Jnani, impersonalists, everyone, for them. Like when you go to like kindergarten, ABCD, then you go to primary school, high school, then you get science, arts, commerce, separated science, arts, commerce. Then you study science, then okay, go to college, then a doctor or engineer. Then okay, I study medical science, doctor, MBBS, 5 years. Then again, cardiologist, then dermatologist, specified. So similarly, first there is common education, Vedas, Upanishads, indirect way of explaining. So Srila Prabhupada said Bhagavad-gita is also on the level of Upanishada, Gita Upanishada. So Bhagavad-gita is also ABCD, kindergarten, primary education. Then comes Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Vedas, Upanishads, even Bhagavad-gita, they are like Vedic scriptures. All the people they read them. All the people they read Gita. Even devotees, Mayavadis, impersonalists, they read Gita. But we can say Srimad Bhagavatam is specifically a Vaishnava scripture. Mainly the Vaishnavas read it. 4 Vaishnavas, okay, they read it. Bhagavatam, they accept Vaishnavas. Then we can say Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is Gauriya Vaishnava scripture. The ultimate conclusion by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Like we see, what Bhagavad-gita ends, in Bhagavad-gita also Mukti is glorified. Mukti, going back to Godhead, going back to Godhead. Na tad bhasayate surya, na shashanka, na pavakaha. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that one should be captivated by this information. One should be captivated by this, and one should aspire to go to that spiritual abode. So if you read Bhagavad-gita, you get the impression, okay, going back to Godhead, aspiring for that, it's the ultimate goal of life. But then you come to the end of Bhagavad-gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, and then you start Bhagavatam. The second verse of Bhagavatam says, Dharma Pradujita Kaitavatra Paramo Nirmasaranam Satam. That Pradujita, it rejects Kaitava Dharma. In fact, it rejects Mukti also. It rejects Mukti also. So in the beginning of Bhagavatam, Mukti is rejected. And throughout Bhagavatam, we say prayer of all the like Prithu Maharaj, prayers by Kunti Devi, prayers by Britrasur, Dhruva Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Everybody prayed. One common theme is that I don't want liberation, I don't want Mukti, I just want to serve you. And at the end of Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam concludes with the conclusion that Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam, chanting the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate conclusion. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita starts from there, chanting the holy name. Now we see in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said various things to Arjuna, taught. Krishna is the speaker and Arjuna is the listener. Krishna is the teacher, Arjuna is the student. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking questions to Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai is answering back. So, Ramananda Rai is Arjuna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. So, Krishna became the listener and Arjuna became the speaker here. Ramananda Rai became the speaker here. So, it's like that, okay, I taught you Bhagavad Gita, now let me test you. How much could you understand? Tell me. Prabhu kohe koho Rai Shadhyero Nirnoy. Rai kohe Swadharma Acharane Vishnu Bhakti hoy. What is the ultimate perfection? What is Sadhya? So he says Swadharma Acharan. And then he quoted from Shastra, Swadharma Acharan, like Varnashama Charavata Purushena Param. When he quoted the verses, Mahaprabhu said, Iha Bahya Age Kohar. It's like external, tell something more, go more deep. Then he said, okay, karma phal arpan. Then he quoted Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi yadashnashi yad juhu siddhasi yat. Whatever Krishna taught to Arjuna, Arjuna just repeated those things only. Mahaprabhu said, no, iho bahya age kohar. You only taught me this thing? No, iho bahya age kohar. Okay, then karma tyag. Dharma tyag, sarva dharma tyag. Then Ramananda Rai quoted sarva dharman parityajya also. This is the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Ramananda Rai quoted this. Mahaprabhu said, no, iha bahya age kohar. So what is it? Like teacher taught you something in the class, and in the exam you are writing that teacher said, no, it's wrong. You only taught me this. Now you are not accepting this. What to do? Iho bahya age kaho ar. So then ultimate conclusion of Bhagavad-gita is not accepted by Mahaprabhu. Iho bahya. Then he came to Bhagavatam. He said, no, Bhagavad-gita will not work here. Let's go to Bhagavatam. He came to 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Jnane prayasa mudapasya namanti eva jivanti sanmukhaditam bhavadiya vartam sthane sthita shrutikatan tanuvang manobhir ye prayasha jita jito pitesrilokyam. That give up your jnane prayasa, your mere endeavor for philosophical speculation and all, and mental speculation. Just surrender unto the Lord, and with your body, mind and words, kaya mana vakya, you just go on hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. Shravanam Kirtanam. Then Mahaprabhu said, okay, iho hoy. This is okay. Aage ko ho. Now I'll give something more. So that means you see that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, like that level, that highest degree of like Krishna consciousness is explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Once there was flood in Mayapur Dham during the time of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Saraswati Thakur was giving class, Hari Katha, Bhagavatam class. So he was describing that similarly, during the Mahapralaya, the entire universe, Brahmanda, will be inundated by the water of causal ocean. So at that time, in that Mahapralaya, that flood, one who wants to save oneself, he should grab three things. What are the three things? Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then he said, but if you like complain or give excuse that, oh, I can't grab three things together, then you can release Bhagavad-gita and grab hold of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. But if you again say, no, it's difficult to grab two things also, then you can release Bhagavatam also. But never ever, don't release Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you release Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is no hope for you to survive. So he said, how to understand Srimad Bhagavatam? Read Chaitanya Charitamrita and study Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then study Bhagavatam in line with Chaitanya Charitamrita. Try to find out the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you can understand Bhagavatam. Without Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can't understand Bhagavatam. That's what Saraswati Thakur said. So then what should we do? Like we should not read, why to waste time in reading Gita and Bhagavat? Read Chaitanya Charitamrita only directly? No. Again, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we should read all three. And specifically, we are fortunate to get the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, what he did, he quoted Chaitanya Charitamrita in the purport of Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada wrote his Bhaktivedanta purports of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam in line with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So that's why it's as good as reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavata, or any books of Prabhupada, if we read with Prabhupada's purport. If you read other Acharya's commentaries also, you won't see that, like they quoted that much Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata. But if you read Prabhupada's commentary, Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, profusely, everywhere, every point, possible point, Prabhupada is bringing conclusion from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's what we have received in Prabhupada's books. That gradual hierarchy and ultimate conclusion one should read. So Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, very wonderful book. One should read that thoroughly. At least that book, Prabhupada very nicely, he compiled it as a summary study of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He brought it into Teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You read that one book very nicely. All the philosophy of Prabhupada and our Parampara, Siddhanta, everything is, we can easily understand. So here we can see the personified Vedas, they are praying that Tarko Hatam, that Tarka will not work. So Tarko Pratishta Shutayo Bhivinna, Tarka will not work. What is going to work? Mahajano Yena Gatasya Panta, Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam. The Dharma Tattva, religious principles that is hidden in the heart of, in the cave-like heart, in the cave of the heart of the devotees, pure devotees. And that is Srila Prabhupada, that is his book. So Srila Prabhupada opened the door of his cave, of his heart, and gave everything in his books. We just need to open it and read it, directly experience his own association. Prabhupada himself would read his own books. He said, Prabhupada said, do you know I am reading my own books? He said, because when I read my own books, I learn many things. Because I haven't read them. I haven't wrote them. So That's what. So one should, that is one service to, we can see prayers of the personified Vedas. The Vedas are personified. So reading the Shastras means service to them, serving them, and specifically serving Srila Prabhupada, understanding his mood and mission. That's very, very important. Because if we don't understand the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada, then we might try to please Srila Prabhupada, but we might end up in displeasing Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, like once one devotee invited in Mayapur, one devotee invited at his house. One Mayapur devotee, he has some land also, and the few of us, we went there for lunch prasadam. Then he had some agricultural farm land also. So there are big feast, Bengali feast, lots of items, one by one, it was coming. So then there was drumstick sabzi. And drumstick is very healthy, nutritious, but unfortunately I don't like it. I don't like to chew it because it just goes in the hole of my teeth. So if they make soup of drumstick, then I take it. Otherwise, it's just difficult for me to chew it. So then they brought, one by one items were coming. So another devotee was serving. So he brought drumstick sabzi. I said, oh, don't give me drumstick. Just give me some maybe juice, just to honor that item. Just give me some, maybe one piece, that's all. So like that, he went. Then after some time, that devotee, who is the host, he came. And he was again trying to serve others. So he said, Prabhu, your plate is empty and you didn't take drumstick. I only grew it. It's from my farm. You take it just, without asking me, he just came and he just put me this much drumstick. I was looking at his face like, what did you do? Now I have to sit for half an hour and chew them. So he tried to please me by giving drumstick from his own farm, from his own garden, cultivated, grew by him. But he didn't ask me whether I like it or not. So same way, if we don't know that the person, what does he like or what does he doesn't like, what does he not like, then we might try to please him, but we might end up displeasing him. We can see in Prabhupada's, Lila Amrita Prabhupada's biography, various incidents, where a devotee wanted to please Srila Prabhupada, but because he didn't know how to please, the exact conclusion, how to do that, various times Prabhupada was not pleased, he expressed his displeasure. So for that reason, we need to read Prabhupada's books, all his lectures we need to hear, all his conversations, letters. We can exactly understand what Srila Prabhupada wanted. Because without knowing that, how do we please him? It's like Sahajiyas. Sahajiyas are even more austere than us. They are even more strict in their austerity, in their tapasya, and they are more emotional. They will cry profusely, they will roll on the ground. But problem with them is they don't read Shastra and they act on their whimsical desire. Let's do like this or like that. Sahajiya. Once I met with one girl. In Calcutta, we went for, in the studio for some recording. So that there was one girl, young girl. So she came, others were also there. We were discussing something. And that girl came, various things were discussed. So then she was telling that, I have my Jagannath. Prabhuji, I have brought Jagannath from Jagannath Puri. I love my Jagannath. Others were saying, yes, Prabhuji, she loves her Jagannath very much. Everywhere I go, I travel with my Jagannath. Whatever I eat, I give bhoga to my Jagannath, then only I eat. I thought, oh, such a great devotee of Jagannath. Wow, I said, very good, very good. Then we were discussing various things. Then something came on eating and non-veg and all. Somebody said about, non-veg. Then I was saying something, no, we should not take like this non-veg. So then she said, what's wrong in it taking non-veg, Prabhuji? I take non-veg and I offer it to my Jagannath. even I take wine. I drink wine, so I offer my wine to Jagannath also. My Jagannath, so I can feed him whatever I like. I say, hey Jagannath, what all you have to see. So like that, I was thinking she's a great devotee of Jagannath, but then you see, so because like not of understanding philosophical conclusions. So we can see many of our devotees also, because of not reading Prabhupada's books seriously, regularly, systematically, they end up doing such things like prachanna bodham astikam, mayavadam ashat shastram, that Buddhism and Mayavad, these are like atheism in one sense. So similarly, being a devotee, prachanna, in a way we can act like a Sahajya or like a Mayavadi because of not knowing the proper conclusion. So we need to know that we need to know the history of our acharyas, like Saraswati Thakur and all. Like there was one particular sect of people who were chanting some other Mahamantra, Bhajan Nitai Go, Radheshyam, Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram, like that they were. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Saraswati Thakur, they fought like anything against them. Specifically Saraswati Thakur, he could not tolerate, at least Bhaktivinoda Thakur was tolerating, he was mild, but Saraswati Thakur was so strict about them in Puri, like they tried to kill Saraswati Thakur. So the police came and told Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur that they are plotting like that. Even they told us, they tried to bribe us. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur told Saraswati Thakur, okay, you go to Navadvip Dham and do bhajan there. Don't be here. So because he was was not able to tolerate it. There is such, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says like Sahajya, Apasiddhanta, Nitai Gaur, Radheshyam, like that. So then I was saying that one of our devotees went to one dham like that, and they were on our official one such YouTube channel, they were like showing the dham yatra. And this devotee went and he was sitting with those people and chanting that mantra. Bhajanitai, go, and they were sitting. Our acharyas, they fought against it. Like Saraswati Thakur, he was so strict, and whole history you see. Now here we have our devotee, they are officially broadcasting on our official channel of one temple, official YouTube channel, they are broadcasting it. So immediately I sent him, Prabhu, what is this? So then immediately they brought it down, that video, edited it. Because they don't know. Okay, just do it. So we need to understand the whole history of our Gauriya Vaishnava Parampara. So we have Bhakti Shastri codes, Bhakti Vaibhav codes. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had Rupanuga Paravidyapit in Navadvip Dham in Chaitanya Mat. And he is the one who actually started these degrees, these courses. And he had 10 degrees. He had 10 degrees. Every year in Gaur Purnima time, Saraswati Thakur himself would sit and prepare the question paper. And he would take the exam on Gaur Purnima day. And after that, till late nights, he would sit and correct those papers. And he would award the degrees. He had 10 degrees, Bhakti Shastri and all. So he had one degree called Sampradaya Vaibhav. Sampradaya Vaibhav. To know about the Vaishnava Sampradayas, and specifically Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya, our philosophy and our acharyas. So that's very important. We need to know about our acharyas, Shad Goswamis, and other Mahaprabhu's associates, their biographies, what all they did and how did they teach, how did they preach. We need to understand that also, the Sampradaya, and what is our Siddhanta. Otherwise, that will be a greatest disservice. If we preach Apasiddhanta, sometimes we see once there is one devotee, I can say in Mayapur, there is one devotee, Vidwan Gaurang Prabhu, he was saying that Jayapatika Swami Guru Maharaj and Vidwan Prabhu was the secretary of Guru Maharaj. So both were walking in Mayapur some long back, and somebody was giving Bhagavatam class in the temple hall, sitting on the Vyasasana. And that class was being broadcasted on FM radio. Guru Maharaj was hearing that. Let's see what is happening. Then the speaker spoke something. Then Guru Maharaj looked at Vidwan, said, Vidwan, what are you doing? That even like you are here and somebody is speaking Apasiddhanta sitting on Vyasasana, how can this go on? So he said that your job is to listen to the daily Bhagavatam classes, whatever goes in the temple, and note down it. And whenever you give class, your job is to defeat those Apasiddhantas, whatever were spoken in the earlier classes. So you should make sure that nobody should speak Apasiddhanta sitting on the Vyasasana in our temple. So that's what Maharaj was saying to his disciple. So we can see sometimes like our devotees, they're preaching, they're quoting something here, there. And nowadays, it's even more, like it's astonishingly, it's dangerous that devotees are not reading Prabhupada's book systematically, seriously, but they are hearing some other things. Some Babaji from Vrindavan, somebody from South India, some other sadhus, they are doing Bhagavad Katha or giving classes, and everything is on YouTube. So our initiated devotees, they are sharing those classes in our groups. Our WhatsApp groups, some second initiated devotee, he shared some other Babajis or some other sadhus class in the group. And why did you share that? It's also a nice class. Wonderful. So this is another risk. The devotees here take shiksha from other sources. We are not saying they are wrong. They might be correct, but this is not as per our parampara siddhanta. So we'll get bewildered. So something called acharya nishtha. If we parampara nishtha, acharya nishtha, if we accept Srila Prabhupada and this parampara, we should stick to this parampara, take teachings from this parampara only, and be careful not to mix things, because philosophical mix-up and deviation is the deadliest fall down one can ever have. So when Jagadananda Pandit went to Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu told him that don't stay for long days. And he said that Dure rohi pranam koriho sango na koriba tashobar achar chesta loite nariba. That you just offer obeisance from a distance. Don't go closer to them. Because you will not be able to understand what is their devotional achar and their practices. You will not be able to understand. So this is our sampradaya. And even Srila Prabhupada, when Prabhupada wrote offering letter to Saraswati Thakur, that poem, adore, adore ye all the happy day, blessed than heaven, sweeter than May. So in that poem, he wrote one particular sentence, that absolute is sentient, though have proved, impersonal calamity, though have removed. So when Saraswati Thakur wrote, he read this sentence, then he said, oh, so this boy, he has understood my mind. By reading this sentence, that absolute is sentient, though have proved, impersonal calamity, though have removed. So by seeing this sentence, Saraswati Thakur said, okay, he told the editor of Harmony that whatever he writes, print it, publish it. So you can see this is a history, like this particular sentence, it attracted the blessings of Saraswati Thakur, and he empowered Prabhupada to write and write. And even Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra also, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatra Dharine. So even if we speak Nirvisheshavad, and if we hear Nirvisheshavad, then what is going to happen? So, yeah, I assume we have 4 minutes, if any correction. Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna, brother.
Hare Krishna.
I am very heart-touching and grateful for hearing from you, your Padmamukha. I can see everything in parampara, in line with our acharyas. I see you are blessed spiritual masters and Guru Parampara. So, from whole class, everything is touching toward, I'm very inspiration from that. And my question from this is, what I see till the line of our Guru Parampara, Gaudiya Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, till the Prabhupada, we have the unbroken chain of line connection. And later, Prabhupada established the society to run as a managerial authority as a GBC. So, on the empowerment of ISKCON, the manager, anybody can be manager. It is not the qualification to be a pure devotee who is in the beyond 3 modes. So, when they are managing, they can do the managerial service, they can manage the temples, and they are already the temple presidents. Under them, there are councils. So, all these may not be the pure devotees, they are maybe or may not connected to the line. So what we see in the spiritual connection, when we have connected to Diksha Guru, or in the spiritual process, we feel that connection that we have connected to old parampara, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Parampara. So when this is happening to any person, and he is experiencing that mercy is flowing through him, and is able to taste the Krishna's name, is able to read Bhagavatam, is able to connect to read Prabhupada's books continuously, and is able to establish that connection, and able to realize the soul, is able to see that everyone is a soul level. And if the managers, who is counselors, who is trying to control that person, who is elevating to his consciousness to in the pure level. So is it possibilities there? He can be pure devotee. It is generally we see that somebody is in sannyasi, somebody is in GBC, somebody is in big post, we consider them as a pure devotee or something like that. It is what sentiment is going on. But one can be with pure devotees simply by accepting and fully 100% surrendering to the process. When these people are not completely surrendering, but they have just taken the post position and they want to control. And what I see is no problem in their controlling, but what I request, or what I feel is, if these people at least transparent to their authority, that makes our parampara in line. So if they are conditioned, if they are not understand some person's heart, so let you give this person to superiors. What is happening is, when somebody sees, oh, this is abnormal, according to you, according to your conditional, but you have to see our parampara. Our acharyas are abnormal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mad after Krishna. Our acharyas, Goswami is mad after Krishna. So when somebody is doing like that, you say he's mad, he's mental, and we want to admit in a mental hospital. Why don't you introduce this person to who is on the level of Krishna consciousness, pure devotees? So that is my understanding. If you correct me, or if you please rectify if anything is spoke wrong. But this is what in general happening. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your commentary and understanding. Yes, we should actually. So one sense, like managerial position, it does not necessarily be that, okay, spiritual position. At the same time, we should not neglect that also. Someone is set on the managerial position, that means he has received it by dint of some sukriti, some mercy is already there. That's why he got in this spiritual organization of Prabhupada. So we should respect him with that. And we should, so ultimately, what to speak of even manager or others, or Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, even Diksha Guru also. Ultimately, one should stay connected with Srila Prabhupada. That is the main thing. That's and that's why even if even Diksha Guru also falls down, a devotee should not fall down. So one Diksha Guru was giving Diksha, and he was telling to his disciples that today I am giving you Diksha, you stay and follow Prabhupada. If tomorrow I fell down, if I don't stay with ISKCON, you stay with ISKCON, follow Prabhupada. Yeah, so that's what he should go on. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Ramru Prabhuji was mentioning about not to listen. So that's one idea, like not to listen. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, the ornament of the devotee, is the hearing. So unless one gets the actual taste for hearing, by repeatedly hearing it, not by any other means. So most of the discontent in a heart about the management or about his own life or family or any other. Once one devotee, I'm replying to both the questions. So first of all, develop the habit of hearing. Prabhupada was got initiated, and he said very clearly, my Guru Maharaj initiated me because I was hearing. I was not going away. So before speaking someone too much about too many things, first hear. Second thing is that someone went to Prabhupada with a lot of problems in ISKCON and all that, this. And Prabhupada gave him the list of the problems in material world. And then he realized, oh, my problems are nothing. So most of the problems we speak is just because of our, sometimes realistic problems are there that has to be dealt. Prabhupada said, deal among yourself, discuss, intelligently. But most of them are being very intolerant, or I also go through that. I don't say that I'm above that. So that's why please hear. That's the solution ultimate, and nothing else. Even you can't find out, we can't say, you don't listen from him. But if you have listened right thing, you yourself will able to understand this is right, this is wrong. Otherwise, there is no end to problems. Quoting the problems everywhere. The problem is ourself, not the world. That's the point.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
अभी जैसा कि आप बता रहे थे कि जिस व्यक्ति को पद मिला है तो उसको निश्चित रूप से कृपा प्राप्त है, तभी उसको पद मिला है। भगवान भागवतम में कहते हैं कि यस्याहम अनुगृह्णामि हरिष्ये धनम सनई, तो जिसके ऊपर मैं कृपा करता हूँ उससे सब कुछ ले लेता हूँ। तो जिसके पास कुछ नहीं है प्रभु जी, उसके ऊपर भी तो कृपा है ना। तो हम एक को तो कह रहे हैं कि उसके पास कृपा है और दूसरे को कह रहे हैं कि उसके पास कृपा नहीं है, तो दोनों की कृपा को भी तो समझना चाहिए ना प्रभु जी। इसके बारे में जरा आप बताएंगे तो अच्छा है।
कृपा दो प्रकार का है। कृपा दो प्रकार की है, सकपट कृपा एंड अकपट कृपा। So, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, One the Mahaprabhu came to him with prasadam. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't even woke up from his bed. He just now when Mahaprabhu came, Mahaprabhu called him out, then he woke up from his bed, and then he came out from his house, opened his door, and then he didn't take bath, he didn't brush his teeth, didn't do his Sandhya Vandana rituals, Gayatri, nothing. Mahaprabhu brought prasadam, he just chanted Mahaprasad mantra and honored it. Mahaprabhu was so happy that Mahaprabhu glorified him, and then Mahaprabhu glorified Mahaprasad. He said that, আজি কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি যোগ্য হইল তোমার মন, বেদ ধর্ম লঙ্ঘি কইলে প্রসাদ ভক্ষণ। আজি তুমি নিষ্কপটে কইলা কৃষ্ণাশ্রয়, কৃষ্ণ নিষ্কপটে তোমা হইলা সদয়। That today you have taken shelter of Krishna without duplicity, without any ulterior motivations. You've taken shelter of Krishna. That's why Krishna has blessed you today also without duplicity. So you can understand Krishna's blessing also like that. So yeah, sometimes like who are the Indra, Chandra, all the demigods, who are them? So they are like devotees. They might be initiated devotees, second initiated devotees chanting Hare Krishna, but they had a desire. Okay, I want to control. I want to have post or control. So okay, you go to heaven. Krishna has unlimited Vaikuntha planets. Go to one heaven and become Indra, or become you Vayu, or become you Varuna and control the water. Controlling. So if someone wants that post and position, then Krishna will give it. Krishna jodi chute bhakte bhukti mukti diya kobhu prem na den rakhen lukaiya. Krishna might give bhukti mukti easily, but he will not give prem easily. So that's one concept. Other concept is that Prabhupada wanted this spiritual movement, everything should go on. So we required this Hare Krishna movement, this society, in order to, what is the purpose of that? Otherwise Prabhupada would not create this society. Society is required, and to keep this society moving, going forward, to have devotee association, we require management, we require post positions, and certain devotees need to be there. Those who are qualified, that's why we hear the term servant leadership. They should have this. What to speak of as a managerial post? Even the guru, the spiritual master also need to give up this idea that I am guru. If he thinks I am guru, then that is also attachment to post. So he also need to give up the I am a guru. Saraswati Thakur would tell his disciple, Dasos me, I am your servant. So that doesn't mean that don't become guru. Become guru, but have that humble mentality. So that doesn't discourage anyone from, should not discourage anyone from service. If you serve, automatically position or post will come, and along with post position, you will get admiration. Pratishtha, like Madhavendra Puri, he was running. Pratisthara bhoye puri gela polaiya. Krishna preme pratishtha chole songe goraiya. He was running with the fear of, okay, like if tomorrow morning everyone will know about my story that Gopinath stole kheer for me, that I will be famous here, I will get fame, everybody will come and worship me, so let me run away. But he went to Puri and everyone already knew it. Oh, Madhavendra Puri is coming. So Chaitanya Kaviraj Goswami says that in Krishna Prem, or for a devotee, Vaishnavi Pratishtha tahe koro nishtha. Ihana lobhile, ihana bhojile lobhibe rourav. Saraswati Thakur wrote Vaishnav ke bhajan. Vaishnavi Pratishtha. As a devotee, it will automatically come. Serving. Prabhupada also was he was doing management. He had the founder Acharya. Prabhupada was not proud or anything. So yeah, so that's why one who is in position, he needs to balance it, he needs to counteract, like, okay, I have managerial service, 1 hour or 2 hours I have done managerial service, okay, I should need to do 4 hours hearing and chanting and Brahmanical service. So management is like Kshatriya, so a devotee, he needs to understand which way like he has received the Kshatriya service, even if a devotee is a Brahmana, even if he receives Kshatriya service to manage, so he needs to stick to his Brahmanical service more and more, and side by side continue his thing. So authority will ask, how is your service? Like you are given this responsibility, manager of this temple, if everything is going properly or not. There will be accountability about the service, about the management. But there might not be accountability about the sadhana, about chanting, about hearing. So one needs to be self-inspired. to continue and always keep the goal focus in that, okay, my main focus is progress as a sadhaka, please my guru. And okay, side by side I am given this service as post, position. This is there. Otherwise, padam padam yad vipadam natesham. So padam padam yad vipadam, danger at every step. At the same time, padam padam yad vipadam. Pad means also vipad.
प्रभु जी, आपने जो कहा कि गुरु को भी अपने पद से आसक्त नहीं होना चाहिए, ये बिल्कुल सत्य बात है। लेकिन एक शिष्य के लिए गुरु इम्पोर्टेंट या मैनेजमेंट ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट, दोनों में महत्वपूर्ण क्या चीज़ है एक शिष्य के नाते? गुरु को तो पद में आसक्त नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है।
We have spiritual line of authority, we have managerial line of authority. So ISKCON disciple course we discuss all these things. ISKCON GBC have the hierarchy, managerial things. So of course, spirituality is very important. Like we came here to be a sadhu. We didn't come here to be just a part of this big worldwide movement. This is not the purpose. Just this organization will not give us Krishna Prem. Okay, you have been a good follower of this movement, good manager. So we award you love of Godhead. We will not get it. We need to get it by our sadhana service to Guru. But at the same time, we should not disregard the president or managerial authority. That's also discussed in ISKCON disciple course, that how to keep harmony between serving one spiritual master and serving that managerial authority, local temple and all. So, for example, if temple president says, okay, go and worship the Lord, yeah, it's spiritual instruction, go and do it. Go and worship, go and cook for the Lord, cook it, clean the temple, clean it, it's spiritual. But if temple president says that, okay, you don't need to chant, just do this for me. So then this is not spiritual instruction. So we need to have our intelligence and have our that kind of delineation. So when devotees joined first, they thought that Prabhupada said, surrender unto Krishna. So they thought that surrendering means surrender your intelligence also. Like devotees who are going for book distribution, Sankirtan. So they went out with the Sankirtan bus, middle of the road, there was no fuel in the bus. So they were stopped. They thought that maybe Krishna wants us to be here only. So the Sankirtan leader wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, what does it mean by surrender? That much. And Prabhupada replied, surrender means to use your intelligence to serve Krishna. So Prabhupada understood what is going on. The devotees are thinking, surrender means don't think, don't use your intelligence. So devotee, dadami buddhi yogam tam, devotee needs to have his intelligence. Basically you navigate through this whole system, everything is there, and navigate through with the spiritual goal, side by side our managerial services, everything should go in synchronization, in harmony.
धन्यवाद प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समवेत भक्तवृंद की, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि।